Last video, y'all, of Miss Grant's end of Module 2 assessment review. We're going to go through 9 through 12 pretty quickly. 9 says on the floor exercise. This is a gymnastics thing. Jasmine scored 9.85. Taylor scored a 8.975 on the same activity. How much higher was Jasmine's score? When they're talking about how much higher, we're talking about subtraction here. When we're doing subtraction and we see decimals, we have to line up the numbers, or not the numbers, sorry, the decimals. And we want the larger number on top. The larger number is going to be 9.85. And our other number is 8.975, which means we have to line up the decimals. So I'm going to put that decimal first. To the left, in the ones place, we have 8. In the tenths, we have 9, hundredths, 7, and thousandths, 5. There was nothing above the 5, which means I have to put a placeholder 0, because that 0 does not impact the value of 9.85. We're going to do awesome subtraction from here. I cannot take 5 away from 0, so I'm going to borrow. I'm going to borrow from the 5, turn the 5 into a 4, bring 10 back over to the 0. So now I have 10 minus 5, and that's 5. I cannot take 7 away from 4, so I have to borrow again. My 8's going to turn into a 7. Adding 10 to the 4, that's 14. 14 minus 7 is going to be 7. I cannot take 9 away from 7, so I have to borrow from my friend the 9. Turn the 9 into an 8. Add 10 to the 7, that's 17. 17 minus 9 is going to be 8. Bring down the decimal. And 8 minus 8 equals 0. So, Jasmine's score was 8.75 points higher. Easy. Number 10 says write an expression that is equivalent to 8.42. This is doing the GCF, pulling it out using the distributive property. We first need to find the GCF of 8 and 42. In order to do that, we need to make the t's. I'm going to move over to the side. So we have our 8. We have to figure out the factors, which two numbers that when multiplied together make my product at the top. If we go through our number line 1 through 10, 1 times 8 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 does not go into 8. 4 goes into 8 because 4 times 2 is 8. 5 does not go into 8. Neither does 6 or 7 or anything higher than 8. We move on to our next number, 42. This one's a larger number, so we're going to have more factors. 1 times 42 is 42. Because 42 is an even number, 2 will go into it. 2 times 21 equals 42. 3 goes into 42 14 times. And if you're wondering, well, how do I know? Well, then we just do simple long division to see how many times 3 goes into 42. 3 goes into 4 once. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. Bring down the 2. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 minus 12 equals 0. Easy little bit of long division. Again, it doesn't hurt to practice more long division. 4 does not go into 42, neither does 5. 6 does, because 6 times 7 is 42. 8 does not go into it, neither does 9, 10, 11, and so on up until I get to 14. So these are all of my factors. We're going to circle the ones they have in common. They have 1 in common. They have 2. They do not have 8 or 4. The largest number here is going to be 2. So that's my GCF. When using the distributive property, we take our GCF and we write it on the outside. This then becomes a multiplication problem on the inside. So now we have to figure out 2 times what number is going to get us 8. Well, 2 times 4 equals 8. Then we want to say 2 times what number is going to get us 42. And that's going to be 21, relating back to our factors over here. So we got 21. So that is our rewritten expression. We're not solving it, we're just rewriting it. So even if I did PEMDAS to this problem, I'm still going to get the same answer as doing it. Just a simple addition. All right. What is the greatest common factor of 22 and 33? This is, again, listing the factors in the T form. So we're going to start with 22. 1 times 22 is 22. Because it's even, 2 always goes into it. 2 times 11 happens to be 22. 3 does not go into it, neither does 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, and then we're stuck back at 11. 33. 33 happens to be a only have a couple factors as well. 1 times 33 is 33. It is not even, so 2 does not go into it. 3 goes into it 11 times. 4 does not go into it, neither does 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, and we're back at 11. The factors they have in common are 1 and 11, the largest being 11. So 11 is our greatest common factor. Our last question, what is the least common multiple of 8 and 11? Multiple meaning skip counting. So we're going to skip count by 8 for a little bit and then 11 to figure out which multiple they have in common. So we always start with the number. We're going to go 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80, 88, and I'm going to pause there. We're then going to start with 11, 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, if you can see a pattern by now, awesome, 66, 77, 88. This 88 looks awfully familiar. 88. You want to stop at the first number they have in common when skip counting, so the least common multiple of 8 and 11 is going to be 88. I know some students use a shortcut. They just multiply the numbers together. When you do 11 times 8, you're left with 88 as well, so either method works. All right, that's the answers to the review. Hope this helps, and I will see y'all on Tuesday.